Maybe I'm just a sucker for singing, you know. Maybe that's what it is for me. Like, but when I heard Luki singing, I was like, that was it for me. Like, I was gone.
And then well, not youngest, but also most recent Lambro with his intro. Holy shit!
Oh, I didn't even get to show everything yet.
Oh man,
it's like yeah, there was all of that shit going on, and it's like that's not even all of it. There's more to come. It's like
yeah, that the anime we showed was only like 15 seconds, 16 seconds out of a minute and a half that's still coming.
Oh, it's gonna be incredible.
And we didn't get to show everything, but I was like, I don't have time. I have to debut now, because if I keep delaying it, I'm gonna debut next year with how busy I'm gonna get, you know.
The one thing that you mentioned kind of really stuck out to me, RPR, like the whole thing about I really didn't want to leave it too long, like otherwise I'd be debuting next year. Like I completely agree with you, and I think whenever it's sort of obviously I haven't really like seen too much of that scene, but when there are a lot of VTubers that you see on Twitter who are pre-debut for a very, very, very long time.
Right.
And when I think about it, I almost think that by like waiting so long to start, you might kind of be like, I don't know, like missing the point of what makes a streamer successful, and that's like to just stream, you know.
And you kill your own hype.
Re-debut.
Yeah. Like there's nothing wrong with starting as a PNG tuber, or even like without without any art at all. Yeah, Shoto was a PNG tuber. Arguably now probably the most successful indie VTuber there is.
The most successful on Twitch for sure.
On Twitch by far.
By far.
You know, and he started as a PNG tuber. He was a PNG tuber for ages because he was like, you know, I don't want to have to wait so I can do a full live 2D debut. I just want to stream, and he did extremely well. So I don't know, like I think that's the best thing I would figure out. Being a streamer means that you do have to like actually stream, and actually streaming makes it so easy to connect with people, to network, make friends, and that kind of stuff, and build an audience. And I think that the longer you leave that, the less time inevitably that you're gonna have for that. So, you know, that's what I don't know. It's like I suddenly just sort of felt like I needed to say that. It's like I would always say, when you're given the option to like get started streaming quickly, I would say just give it a go, do it, because the more you stream, the more practice you have. I think that all of us, you know, I've noticed it a lot with myself and with you, Fulgur, as well. Like you improve as a streamer so much in so little time. Yeah, like I can't stand watching my earlier streams because I felt like I was so unprepared, and I was so like sort of, I don't know, unfunny, but I feel like I've improved so much because I just kept doing it, you know, doing it.
If there's someone who personifies that, it's Hugo. Like Hugo, who came out of the bat without any streaming experience and was like this incredible musician, but at the same time thought being a streamer meant playing games on stream, and tried to like fit that mold.
Yeah, but it really isn't.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody has their own kind of style.
It's everybody like whatever you
kind of development path.
Whatever like you want it to be.
The reveal thing that Hugo had, like nowadays, I'm sure Hugo would go back and do it completely differently. And yeah, it's the same for a lot of people who start as like a PNG tuber or eventually work their way into a VTuber. Like you don't really know what you want to aim for in your content until you try out a bunch of different things, and then you realize, like with Vox as well. Vox started off, like you said, a little more awkward at first. There were a lot more games, and then you realized your thing is ASMR, the RPing, all of that kind of thing is your incredible like talent.
Just
and
talking.
So, like, that's what you've been leaning into. Yeah, exactly. Well, talking and also planning out all of that. It takes so much time to plan out all the scenarios and all the storylines. Yeah. And then also the natural ability to just be able to go on the fly and like roll with anything that happens on stream is incredible. But yeah, the planning that goes into all of that as well, how hard you work at each of those is so good.
That's like, it's exactly what I was telling Hugo, you know, before he made like the switch to doing more music-based content, is that when you stream, you need to play into your talent. So you need to show people what you're good at, because I don't know, like a lot of the time it's, you know, it's like what Hugo was struggling with. It's like, you know, whenever you watch people stream, you see them just playing games, you see them doing this, doing that, when in reality, it's like, this is such like an open and easily changeable art form, you know, unlike the rest of entertainment where you have a crew, producers, directors, everything that you need to kind of, and have ratings that you need to approve and a budget you need to work within. A stream you yourself can do for free. The most money I've ever spent on a individual stream is getting like stock assets for ASMR streams, like backgrounds and stuff, or buying the games that I play. Other than that, you can do whatever it is that you want. You can come up with interesting themes to do within games and stuff like that. If you have like something that you think you're good at, like it maybe you think you're good at like doing voices, maybe play like an RPG and give fun voices to the characters. Just anything that lets you show off what you're good at is the right way to kind of make your start streaming. Because the worst thing to be is like someone asks, well, why should I watch you instead of someone who's popular, and you can't think of what to say. You need to be able to, you need to know what to say in that instance.
And I think the biggest mistake most people do is they look up, like, I'm not saying don't look up to bigger streamers, but don't be other people. It's like, that's not the point.
Yeah.
Be yourself, because we have the other people to be them, right? Like, why would anyone watch another Vox that just showed up, right? Like, no one cares. Like, what they want is another human with their own set of, you know, personality and quirks and stuff, you know, to look up to. And like a lot of VTubers, I feel like, end up just like copying what other people are doing, and then they're wondering why am I not successful? Because I feel like you just need to like input your personality, inject your personality in your content, find out what you are as a streamer, who you are. Like, biggest example I can give you, Numi. She's an indie VTuber that does music and stuff, and like her streams are something completely different from every other stream you would ever watch. It's completely about her personality, who she is as a person, her music, and people watch that because they love the personality, they love what she inputs into her streams, right? She's not trying to be someone else, she's herself, and she came out of nowhere and exploded, right? And same with Shoto, because Shoto like just showed people who he is as a person and put himself in, you know, his things, horror games, and then his personality, etc. He inputted that into his content, and people love that. People found a new person, not someone that's similar to another person. They found a completely new person to fall in love with, right? And that's what streaming is. It's like, be yourself, don't be other people.
Exactly.
I completely agree with you, and I think like at least as far, maybe this differs for some people, but like on stream I really don't think I play a character. Like, I think I'm just being myself, and
exactly.
a lot of streaming is down to being yourself, just louder, you know, like what normally if you were playing a game you might organically think, you might organically think inside your head, and you might like jump a little bit. For stream, you just say it out loud, and you try and think of funny things to say that might naturally occur to you while you're not streaming, but you just don't say it out loud. You just think it to yourself, and you're like, you know, like that's
yeah, exactly.
like that's the difference. That's the difference. And I think you know, when I see a lot of when I see someone who's like sort of trying really hard to fit into like the mold of what their character is supposed to be, I think that a lot of the time, like, I don't know, like I think the average viewer is smarter than you think they are. You know, that like when you're faking it, and when you're trying so hard to be something that you're not, and it's like, I don't want to be myself, I want to be successful, I think people can fucking tell, you know. And it's I don't know, at least maybe for some people, you know, that works, but for me, I think that it's kind of like,
that's what I was going to say. There are definitely those people who are also, you know, natural born actors.
You can feel it. You can feel like, when it's not real.
Dr. Disrespect, like, that's the thing, but they can be still funny, like Dr. Disrespect.
He plays a character, but that's a lot of himself in that character.
Dr. Disrespect, that's his alter ego, you know? That's him. Dr. Disrespect is him, you know? It's not like something he forces. That is genuinely another one of his personalities, and that's why it works so well.
I agree on that with Doc. Like, I think the reason he's been so successful is that Doc is basically the real guy, but just so much more expressive and loud. You know, like that felt pretty real to me. You know,
and it was real.
That's what's valuable about streaming, is that it's a more intimate type of content than I think we've ever had before, and that is valuable. I think that's a really unique thing that we need to celebrate about this type of content, because you can't really be close to like a TV anchor or an actor or a celebrity or a singer in the same way that you can be involved in the life and the work of a streamer that you follow. You know, I think that's a really unique thing, and I think that there's only so much of that you can fake. There's only so much of that you can fake.
And I do want to praise Niji Sanji in this way because, Niji Sanji, people that debut under Niji Sanji, in EN, let's take EN as an example. Every single person in Niji Sanji is different. They're all like their own person. They're all of their content is their own. There's no like you would often be like when you're in that situation, you would often be like tempted to copy your senpais and like go their route. But like from what I've seen, for the most part, like everyone in Niji Sanji is somehow their own person that have their own vibe, their own way of doing their streaming and stuff like that. And that's like rare. Like Niji Sanji just prints unique people, debuts unique people. I think that's what Niji Sanji is good at. And same with Whole Life.
Yeah. They find unique talents and they just give them a place to flourish. It's great.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different talent to work with. And even when it comes to like the gaming streams, like people do them so differently. Some people go for storyline games and really focus on the story. Some people are incredible God gamers, brother. RPR.
Yeah.
And yeah, Niji Sanji does have like so much talent, even in like the EN sphere itself. Like, oh my god, the uniqueness of some of the streams. Pomu's streams going to court and shit. Millie's streams recently, she's getting a lot more confident with them. She did like the undating one recently. She has that whole series where it's like I do what I want, where it's like 10,000 different scenes. For one of those, she played 4 games at the same time and fucked up on all of them, as you would while playing 4 games at the same time. But that kind of shit's so entertaining.
The ideas are unique, and you rarely see them repeat between other talent. You rarely see someone do the same idea twice, right? Okay, like even ASMR, like all of you guys do ASMR completely differently. Like it's a completely different vibe. Like there's like absolutely no similarities, and that's what I think is so good and successful about Niji Sanji, is because there's someone for everyone. Like you can find your Oshi easily because there's someone for everyone, for every type of personality.
And there are some people you only see like their uniqueness, like one stream in every like 50. Like somebody else just pointed out like Rosemi's one as well. Like Rosemi's one, when she hit a certain milestone, I can't remember what it was, but it was like so many scenes of her trying to get there to celebrate the milestone and like accidentally murdering someone. Or a bunch of other things, trying to bend a spoon with her mind and accidentally sending it into somebody's head. And then she had the recap of it on the most recent update for her number of subscribers, and she was trying to do more magic tricks. That kind of shit is always just so funny. Like people just doing their passion and creating something unique is definitely incredible.
That's what makes it special.
Rosemi and Pomu were very inspirational to me when I was first starting, because like I was sort of in the same trap that I think you go through in the beginning, where it was like it's so difficult to stream every day and to figure out what it is that you want to stream. Like I think the hardest part of this job is putting a fucking schedule together and like thinking about what A is you want to do for the week, and B, what will work for the week. What streams you think are going to do well, what you think your audience will enjoy seeing, and that kind of shit. And and it was around then that I sort of I can't remember what the first like genuinely. I think the first stream I did where
Chad, I'm muting on Discord so they can hear me call.
I think the first one I did, it's like I did some lore related stuff, and then I did the date stream was a big like turning point where I realized that doing something more unique is a really good way of kind of standing out. Like
because I remember you started like the natural incredible voice. You did the whole like reading copyright free things. I think it was Edgar Allan Poe.
Allan Poe, yeah.
Oh, I love Edgar Allan Poe.
That was great. And then you did like Shakespeare with Pomu. And
that was one of my favorite streams. I had so much fun doing that. We spent ages prepping for that too. Sung, what was it? I'm a Believer at the end, like the end of Shrek. God, that was some of the most fun I've ever had on stream. She's a really inspirational person, and I really hope that like she knows like how much her unique approach to streams really affected like the way I started streaming as well, because it's sort of that same thing where you have different scenes and a different approach to to the whole thing. I think it was around then that I realized the big thing that people want to see out of a stream isn't someone playing a game, it's you playing a game that gets a reaction out of you. It's something that they something that generates content from yourself, and that's why horror games are so good. That's why horror games are so good, because it's great to see someone who's like so distant from you, like a streamer and entertainer, and then see them scream their fucking head off and be scared just like you would be. You know, I think watching someone play a horror game is a weirdly intimate experience, isn't it? Because you're both scared.
Right.
Gets the adrenaline going, gets the blood flowing, and suddenly, boom, the hormones kick in.
And coming back to the inspiration part where you said, you know, Pomu, etc., they inspired you, right? And I feel like the VTuber space in general is very inspirational. Even for me, that came as a pro player, as someone who streamed with a camera, etc., like I wanted to get into this space because I had certain people inspire me, like Tova from HoloLive inspired me to like get more into music, which music was something that I have had thoughts of for years before even becoming a streamer and a pro player, and I just never had the balls to do it. And this kind of like this VTuber thing kind of like gave me the push to start going into music and to give myself an excuse to go into it and do original songs and do covers and do stuff like that, like, you know, do something I wanted to do. And I feel like there's a lot of streamers out there, VTubers, that are very inspirational in that sense. Like one of my first inspirations in streaming was Veibe, for instance. Like her streams are hilarious. Like just even getting a model, that was one of my first inspirations coming from her. And then Iron Mouse, for instance, I think Iron Mouse is one of the most inspirational people in general in the world with you know how much she struggles with her health, and she just keeps on pushing, you know, shit like that. The people you get to see in the VTuber community can really make you think about your life and be like, well, I can fucking do this shit too, man. I can chase my dreams too, you know? And I think that's special about the VTuber community. And I think that's what you guys do for a lot of people too. And that's what gave me like the push. Like even Uki's debut was like, damn, I want to fucking sing well, you know, I want to make an original song like, you know, like that's my first thought. And that's why I do have an original song on the way now, you know. I don't think I'm good with singing and stuff like that, but I will keep going until I'm at a level I want to be, because now I feel inspired and I feel motivated by these people around me. You surround yourself, and that's Niji Sanji also. You guys are surrounded with great people constantly, and you constantly inspire each other to be better. And I think that environment in itself is something that a lot of people are jealous of.
And V Shoujo for sure as well, because yeah, you pointed out Mousy. Like Mousy is so
And
good at
Hololive.
just interacting with all of the indies as well. Like she's so good at just making everyone feel welcome and feel like they're doing their best. She will even just like every time she does one of those like diving into other VTubers clip streams, it's so good, it's so inspirational, where she'll just find the smallest indies and she'll be able to blow them up because she'll be able to showcase some of their best moments from their best clips that they've sent in, and suddenly boom, they have so many more viewers, people have got their eyes on them.
It's so unbiased too,
and it's so nice to exactly. She just lets people submit stuff, it's their best stuff, she shares it, and if people like them they can go follow them, and boom, it's made a star overnight.
Yeah, I think that's like, there's a lot of you know, a lot of people give shit to VTubers. Oh, you're hiding behind an avatar and this and that. It's so much more than that. Like VTubing just opens up a whole new world of possibilities to express
and
yourself.
And it is still such a young space as well, so people are still innovating so much.
I think
There's so much
VTubing has
room.
been great for content creation world. VTubing has been one of the best things that happened in the last like 5+ years, right?
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Shall we
I
go?
mean, we're sitting next to a man who can turn 180 degrees, right?
Look,
Yeah,
I can
this
look at
man-
you guys.
Look at the locomotion in this man's bones. He can. God, if there's actually a threat, like someone's coming at him from a 90-degree angle, he can actually turn and see it.
I can
I can't do that.
I can give you guys a kiss. Look.